Hi there, how's it going? I wanted to make an investment in 5 different stocks, and I've been thinking of these over the past couple weeks and wrote down a little list of the 5 stocks that I really wanted to invest in. And around that time, one of you guys wrote in the comment section, hey, where's the ANDO ETF? Like, where's the Animal Donut ETF? And I got to thinking about it, and I thought, oh, that would be a really cool idea to make my own ETF and to create a portfolio and then show you guys which stocks I would invest in this ETF. And this is just a fictitious ETF. It's not one that people can go, onto their brokerage and actually buy shares. I love the idea of creating my own ETF portfolio. Like, what stocks would I put in it and how much money would I invest in each stock? And then just the mental part of investing, because I think that's, for a lot of people, one of the toughest parts about putting money into the stock market is kind of balancing the risk of any investment with the potential reward. And then how do you manage your emotions, like your feelings about taking your money and buying some stock and possibly, losing it? And how do you balance that with your desire to have that money grow? And so I thought, yeah, this is a really amazing opportunity just to make this portfolio, this ANDO ETF portfolio. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do this next week. I'm going to invest in 5 different stocks. Now, the plan is that this ETF may have more than 5 stocks, but right now, because I've only come up with 5 that I feel like I have a really good understanding of these companies, I'm just going to start with 5. Keep it simple. And my goal is to invest $1,000 into each of these stocks. So 5 stocks, $1,000 each. The total portfolio starting value will be $5,000. And what I'm going to do between now and next week is I'm just going to start to make videos to tell you guys about each of the stocks that I'm buying. So they're going to be kind of like fun videos. They're not going to be like way too deep and heavy with detail, but enough to give you like an idea of how I think about a company and a stock that I'm going to invest in, and then how I think about the risk associated with investing in this company and this company's stock. And that'll just give you an idea, because I know a lot of times I might talk on my channel about, oh, this stock or that, and it's like, wow, well, how did he even decide to invest in that company? Like, how did that even start? So I'm actually going to tell you guys how I first heard about each of these stocks, and then how I started to do a little bit of learning about them, and then how that led me to actually decide to invest in each company into this ANDO portfolio. And I do want to mention that, this is not investment advice. I just share this with you because I think that being educated and understanding the process of investing is so important. I think it's a big responsibility, and it really does bother me that I see on a lot of YouTube channels people promoting stocks or predicting that the stock price is going to go to a certain place, or that you should buy at this particular. That's just not my scene. And so I want to be very thoughtful about what I present here and just showing you what I'm doing, and so you can see the thought process. And I think one of the cool things about this portfolio is you're going to be able to see these 5 stocks. I think 5 is like a manageable amount to track. Sometimes when I see people with a spreadsheet and they've got, 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 stocks that they're investing in, I just think that's insane, because it's impossible to track that many stocks and really know any of them very well if you own that many different stocks. And the other thing about owning 50 different stocks is that, if 5 of those are your best ideas, why don't you just stick with your 5 best ideas? Just put more money into what you understand best, instead of having these other 45 companies that you just know a little bit less about or have less confidence in. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. Start with 5. And I will just say, I'm not going to tell you right now which the 5 stocks are, because that I'm going to reveal to you guys next week. But I will say that the first stock, the stock price today is $71.73, which means I'll be able to buy if prices don't move a lot, about 13 shares for the $1,000. The other stock is selling at $72.42, so I'd also be able to buy about 13 shares of that one. The third stock is selling at $187.05 right now, and that would mean I could buy 5 shares. The fourth stock is selling at $7.70 right now, and that means I'll be able to buy 129 shares. And finally, the last stock that's going to make it into this portfolio is selling at $48.87 right now, which means I'll be able to buy about 20 shares. So that's kind of a little rundown of like what I'm going to be working on. And I'm kind of excited that over the next few days, I'm going to be able to make some videos about each company, kind of how I learned about it and how I decided that this makes sense for me as an investor. And I want to share that with you guys just to give you guys kind of an idea of like how this whole thing works, kind of from start to end. And what I'm really most excited about is actually making this portfolio. So it doesn't exist. I haven't even created the account yet within my Schwab brokerage for these 5 ANDO ETF stocks. So that doesn't even exist. But in a few days, you guys will actually see it, and you'll see the 5 names, the 5 ticker symbols, and the amounts. And then as we go through the year, you'll be able to see like, well, was this a good decision? How did it do? Did it go up? Did it go down? And I'm even considering the possibility, although I have not historically been a trader. I have not been somebody who buys and sells based on what happens. But I'm thinking about being more conscientious about managing risk in this portfolio and what that means. In other words, whether you hold on to a stock if it goes higher and higher and higher, whether you decide, you know what, that's enough of a climb, I want to sell this position and lock in a profit. And by the other measure, if a stock starts going down, how I might decide to sell that position before it goes down too much. Because I think that one of the problems a lot of beginning investors have is they buy stock in a company and they see it moving down, but they don't know whether they should wait and think it might rebound, or there's like a lot of kind of emotion gets involved in this process of being a trader or an investor, and they get confused and then feel kind of lost. So I want to address kind of those ideas, those thoughts of how a person can manage their portfolio without feeling fear or greed or just having like the emotional ups and downs that I think a lot of people might have when they start to invest, or even people who've been investing for a while might feel these emotions when they invest. And I personally don't think that you should be emotionally involved at all with your investments. I think it should be treated in like a business-like way where you just make cool, calm decisions using very simple criteria that you plan out ahead of time so that when markets move this way or that way, you don't feel like you're pulled that way or that way. You don't feel excited or depressed because of what's happening in the market. So I'm going to share a little bit of my thoughts about that with you guys. So that is everything I have to share with you guys today. Like I said, I'm going to reveal all 5 stocks next week, and you'll actually get to see them in my portfolio. But before then, I'm going to reveal the first stock probably over the weekend in a video I'll make, and I'm just going to tell you the stock, the ticker symbol, and then how I decided to invest in that particular stock. Thank you for stopping by and sharing this time with me today. I'm really excited about this Animal Donut ETF, ANDO, and I just like that I can share it with you because, going through these things in my mind and kind of coming up with the idea of a portfolio and investing, being able to like share it with you and tell you like what I am buying and why, and just getting that out there so that you can then ask me questions in the comments, that like completes the circle. It makes it like a conversation. And I like that a lot more. As much as I like talking into this little lens here for the camera, it's even better when I hear from you guys. So yeah, that's that. And I will see you very soon.